Hey, I'm Catherine Miller, and I've been a divorce attorney for over 30 years. And for much of that time, I've also been a mediator. And last week, I told you about my friend Marcy, who chose the collaborative process. And this week, I want to tell you about some mediation clients who came in a number of years ago. And let's call them Karen and Mark. Of course, that's not their real name because I must protect confidences. But Karen and Mark had been in litigation for 2 years, and they were very frustrated. Their divorce had started out very dramatically when Karen discovered that Mark was having an affair with her best friend. In fact, she caught them in the act in her very own house, and you can imagine how painful and difficult and conflictual that was right at the beginning. So they were off to the races, hired lawyers, and went to court. 2 years later, nothing had happened. And they came to my office together, both really in a place of wanting to move on with their lives. They were ready to let go of the pain, and they were ready to write a new story. And it was really interesting with these people because I started to explain how the communication process works in the litigation system. Now, let me just say, almost all divorces settle in New York before a judge makes a decision after a trial. So it really doesn't matter which process you choose on that statistic, you're overwhelmingly likely to settle your divorce case. The problem with the litigation model is that instead of finding a way for the people to talk with each other, they talk through their attorneys. So Karen and I described, Karen would talk to her attorney, and her attorney would talk to Mark's attorney, and Mark's attorney would talk to Mark, and Mark would talk back to his attorney, and Mark's attorney would talk to Karen's attorney, and Karen's attorney would talk to Karen. And obviously, all of you, I'm sure, are familiar with the game of telephone. Things get polluted, things get changed, and the actual intent of the communication is lost through all those people. Plus, it's really inefficient and it's really expensive. So interestingly, I told this to them and they interrupted me. They're like, that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. And so we talked about some ways that they could talk more efficiently and effectively between themselves. And they left, they were very happy. And I expected to see them the next week, but they didn't call and I didn't hear from them. And then a few weeks later, I reached out to them by email and I said, hey, Karen and Mark, I thought we had a good session. Is there something you want to come back in to talk about? And they said, no. Once we were in your office and we realized there were ways that we could talk to each other, we worked it out ourselves and we're in the process of finalizing our divorce settlement. So that doesn't happen for everybody, but if you're interested in how mediation could help facilitate, maybe speed things up and smooth things over for you, give me a call. I'd love to talk to you about it. Thanks.